I'm Shifa, and today I'm going to share some of the challenges I faced growing up with autism. To be honest, right, I always knew I was somehow different from other people, but I didn't really know why. And as I was growing up, I began to notice I behaved in different ways than other people did. I I communicated more in gestures than in speech. My voice was also either too quiet or too loud. I found it really hard to look them in the eyes as well because, well, it feels almost painful to look somebody in the eyes, to be honest. And whenever somebody told me to look them in the eyes, I would have to force myself, and then I wouldn't be able to concentrate on what they were saying. Well, other than looking people in the eyes, touch was also something of an issue. Like people would pat shoulders, hold hands. I found hugging the most overwhelming, but I wanted to do that the most. And this was because there was this one primary school classmate who would attack me with a hug every single day, and she would read books with me. So I became accustomed to touch, and I began to need it. Uh, so nowadays I try to have more physical contact with the people that I care about. I'm still quite clueless about it though, because even when I high five, I'm like, how fast should I go? I guess my biggest fear is that I won't say or do the right thing. I mean, I've hurt people by accident quite a lot of times because of my social cluelessness, so to speak. And I really just want to be there for people, but a lot of the times I don't know how to. I was misunderstood by a lot of people around me, um, especially in my younger days, where I would cry very easily, and so people saw me as very unpredictable. And the reason I cried so easily was because I I didn't know how to act in certain situations. Like I would always plan things out in my head, but it wouldn't go to plan. There was this one time in class, in secondary school, we were making perfume. So I planned out a conversation with this classmate. Let's call him Jay. I will say, "Hey, your perfume is nice." Then he will say, "Thanks, yours too. But life is more complicated than that." And the conversation turned out to be something like this. So I go up to Jay. I say, "Hey, I like the smell of your perfume. It's gentle. What do you think of mine? Mine's strong, right?" And then he says, "I think yours is pretty weird." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And I was about to cry, and he changed his opinion just for my sake. He said, "No, no, I mean it's strong. It's strong." And I felt terrible because I thought the fact that my perfume was weird to him would make me less likable to him. But then I felt even worse that he had to change what he was saying just for my sake. It's like I felt a bit. Well, this was one of the incidents that made me feel like I was out of touch with others. Yeah. I have almost everybody in my life had in the end they understood me, and almost everybody treated me well, save for a few people who made fun of me at school and in the street. Um, yeah, then I really appreciate that people in school and my teachers, they were also patient with me. They asked me how my teachers asked how they could help me, and my schoolmates always waited for me to say whatever I needed to say. Uh, and then also even throughout all these years, I I have close friends from primary school, and I really appreciate that. I want to cry. I'm really happy that they're there. I mean, I remember one of my schoolmates uh, he if any other person was messing with me, he said, "Don't mess with her," and uh, and then there were other people who just talked with me as per normal, just asked what do I like basically just had normal conversation despite the fact that I was so awkward. And then there are also the people I appreciate because they would say right to my face, "Shifa, don't be so awkward, Ken." When I was first starting to reach out to people, I had to initiate the conversation most of the time, and things got a bit awkward because like there were so many things to figure out. Like I would say hello, and then there would be awkward silence because I didn't know what to say after that, and uh, even greeting people, I just tried to do small things lah. I greet I I greeted people like when they were passing by. I talked to people I didn't know. I I tried to invite people out for lunch. Uh, Basically, now I realize just trying to have more to share more experiences with them. Uh, that helped me a lot. Yeah, you could say I tried really hard, and even but and I like to think that I've come a long way. But even now, I still got a lot to learn. I I want to I want to create and animate stories that move people. I've been told that animation is not about a story and it's like more of the art of life. But what is life without a story? Uh, I write poetry a lot because like that helps me understand other people's emotions and my own emotions. It also helps me come up with ideas for my animations. Like one of my animations is based on this poem called Water. A single drop, another drop, and yet another. A shower, a storm. Reach out. Let the raindrops sting your hand. Hang onto your hair. Fall into your eyes. Blink and bless your face. The storm has grown stronger. Look above. The world is nothing but water. Can you feel the cold? It's up to your knees. I swear the city has been swept off its feet. Realize that you remain. Walk against the flood. With grace now, for not all is lost.